I missed episode 3, and you guys are probably thinking, well, there he goes. He said he's not gonna leave. He said he's gonna cover this to the end, and he's already abandoned us. No, I haven't. I'm sorry. We back with episode 4 of Gundam GQuuuuuuX, and from here on out, GQuuuuuuX is all original content, so we are definitely going to be here for the long run. I got to cheat a little bit on episode 3 because I've already seen that content in the movie, but I do apologize for you guys who are probably waiting on my thoughts on episode 3. But from here on out, we're all on the same page. We're all on this journey together. So each episode here is going to be new for all of us. But that's whether here nor there. Let's go ahead and get to GQuuuuuuX episode 4 because this was crazy. I mean, I knew as soon as I saw this Shuji dude that he was going to be a little bit unhinged. And most new types are, except the main characters in Gundam. And what I mean by that is they are, for all intents and purposes, programmed to destroy. And we see this, or at least I saw it with Shinji, because I just know the past with new types. To win a clan battle, you just gotta take off the head of the opponent, right? Nah, not the programmed new type. They are taught to eliminate their opponent. It was absolutely no reason for him to unalive that other suit. But also this character we were introduced to today by the name of Shiko, she had some bodies under her punch card as well, because not only was she a mother, and when you see her, you just look at her and be like, "Aw, she was just so adorable." I mean, just seeing her at first glance, she looked like a really cool character. It just looked like she couldn't hurt a fly. That is until you find out she's off the 100 people as a Federation pilot in a 1-year war. I mean, they actually called her the Wish from Earth, which is a nice little call to the Wish from Mercury. And her motivation for entering this clan battle and seeking out our team is because she still wants to smoke with Char's Red Gundam from the war for killing her Mav, which is a pilot's wingman. And, well, welcome to Gundam, ladies and gentlemen. If you are new to the franchise, have a seat because this is how it's probably going to be the rest of the way. I mean, even like with the trigger like visuals and the happy-go-lucky nature that the episode usually has for most of it, or sprinkle within, never ever forget how dark Gundam can get. I mean, are we sure Tomino isn't involved in this? Because we're already on episode 4, and we're getting people getting sent to the upper room beyond space. I just had a feeling things were gonna go south when she ended up being the opponent for Machu and Shuji in this clan battle, but not like this. Also, everybody watching the clan bat was also looking like, bro, there was no reason for that. And with that being said, I'm really interested in knowing more about Shuji because I have a feeling that, and this is how it usually works in Gundam again, when we start to get his backstory, it's going to be really heartbreaking. When we see what these weapons who are new types go through, who are usually orphans of war or experiments, it's going to crush us to see how they used to be and how they turn to what they are. One thing that I mentioned that I loved about this series so far is that even though it is going in a new direction with the story, the war and strife of the Earth versus the Federation is still looming in the background. Like, we see people rioting, we have mentions of the battle between Earth and space, and I just hope we actually get a war in this versus one just being teased like we got in GWitch, especially with this being the Universal Century. Even if it's just in the backdrop, we need to know these things are going on, and of course that could open up for us to see more legacy characters and things like that. But back to the insanity of this episode, Machu isn't exempt either. In fact, she seems to be kind of turned on by how crazy Shinji is. I mean, having a war brainwashed psycho talk about voices and out-of-body experiences and unaliving people is a goal for her now. She feels also that she has to go that far in order to catch up to him. I mean, I expected romance. It also happens in Gundam, but this is a little bit out of pocket. It's a bit more to it though. Shuji wants to go to Earth because the voice in the Gundam is telling them to. Now, it's heavy speculated, and just using our brains, this is probably Char in some shape, form, or fashion. Maybe his essence, his spirit or something is in the Gundam and that's who's actually talking to him. Or maybe he hears somebody else's voice, which would be interesting too. But just looking at it at base value, it's probably Char. So in turn, Machu is doing a clan battle so she can help him get to Earth, as she's also fascinated by going. We saw like in the first episode that, you know, she was questioning like how things work, how gravity is on the colony versus Earth and things like that. So it's a goal that she wants as well. And for the most part, she's just bored with life in the colony. I mean, she's just making it through. She's just going through the motions. She's just zoning out through classes. Nothing seems to interest her. And for the most part, she's fascinated with catching up to Shuji skill-wise. But in a twisted way, she realizes that she may even have to lose her compassion for her opponent in order to do that, which is not the path she needs to be on for clan battle. War maybe, but it's like a twisted realization, because she saw that Shuji just took out this woman who, even though she was a pilot, she was a mother. She has a family back at home waiting on her, and he just like took her out like it was like she was trash, like it was nothing. And it's kind of clicking into Shuji is that if I want to be on the caliber that he is, I'm gonna have to adapt that type of personality. So I hope some light comes in somewhere to bring her out of that. We'll have to see where that goes. We don't see much in Nian, but we did see her this episode. It looks like she might have her own side hustle going, as she may be leaking info about the Red Gundam to a source for cash. So it's still a little bit of that mystery with her and what she's actually doing, who she's working for, and etc. But we also see something else that was pretty interesting is when the clan battle was going on, that the three pilots heard a song going la la la, which could be a huge hint to what's going on. We heard this before Char disappeared when he did the Technova, and I think maybe, just maybe, this whole universe is Lala Soon's doing somehow. I mean, I've already kind of had that speculation after I've seen, you know, the first 3 episodes. I won't get into that yet. We'll let it unfold to see what it is. But if you're interested, be sure to Google that name if you're curious, because that is another huge part of the Universal Century and overall the origin of, you know, the battle between Char and his eternal nemesis Amuro Ray, which I will say, I've said before, I'm going to be a little bit disappointed if we don't see him in some shape, form, or fashion. Like, even if he isn't like a pilot or involved in a war, just to throw us a bone like you've been doing the rest of the episodes, just for the Universal Century lovers out there and experiencers, we need to see what Amuro is up to, because he's essentially the Luke Skywalker of Gundam, so we need to see what he's up to. I'm really hoping we get to see that. But overall, it was a straightforward episode. Let me know what you guys would think of this one. I know, like, they're coming into this gaslighting us, making us think that this is just going to be like happy-go-lucky slice of life with clan battles or war in the background. Then it immediately kicked in what type of series this is. And even though I'm not shocked, it's Gundam. I was still like, well, I mean, as soon as we started focusing on this lady having a family, I was like, oh, no, not like this. So when they started getting into like her background, I was like, yep, here we go. But I thought maybe she would just lose or something, or maybe even in a sense, maybe something would happen to her suit and it would be an accident. I didn't expect Shuji just to straight take her out like that. But it's also refreshing, you know, not to know what direction we're going in with this series for now. Of course, the big mystery is still where Char is, but we got some stuff to unpack before we find that out as well. Like, getting to know more of these characters, we're eventually going to get to Shuji being a new type and why he is the way that he is, so get ready for heartbreak there. And as always, Sunrise always go in with battles on this series. Like, when the lady was going against Machu and Shuji, she was using like this little hook that she would put onto the suits that was so microscopic, well, not microscopic, but so small that they couldn't see it. And that's how she was changing trajectory, almost like she was a new type herself, because she was able to outmaneuver and be so fast that her abilities were almost like off the charts. But we found out that's how she was getting her victories. That's how she got those 100 takeouts on her record. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get it by here, guys. I absolutely cannot wait to episode 5 of GQuuuuuuX. We still don't have a confirmation on how many episodes we're gonna have. I really hope we get more than 12. I think we probably do need a 24 episode run. Me personally, I would love a 50 episode run for it, but we'll just have to see where that goes. But yeah, definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I just had a feeling that Shuji was going to be a psychopath, because if you look at the history, if you look at 4, if you look at this guy, if you look at the one in Wish for Mercury, if you look at the one in Requiem for Vengeance, it's like this always happens with new types. So thank you very much for joining me. As I always say, you guys could be anywhere on YouTube right now, but you chose to listen to me. I really appreciate that, so thanks for stopping by. On that note, it's your boy Scott signing out. See you soon.